You're gonna have to speak louder, man. I can't hear you guys. Again, the question is, why do we fast in Ramadan? So we have Brother Haris here who said because, what did you say?
It's like one time of the year that we actually gain more hasanat.
So it's the one time of the year we gain more hasanat, right?
It also we have to fast from bad deeds, not only from food and drink.
Yeah, that's another good one. So we're not only refraining from food, but we're refraining from worldly pleasures, sins, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to keep away from all of that, right? Somebody else mentioned something else before we get to you. Yeah. Oh, you said this so we feel how other brothers who have nothing feel on a regular daily basis, right? Haris.
Like in Ramadan, since you're not allowed to swear, when you're fasting, so no one really swears. So.
Well, you're not allowed to swear in general, man. Not just
I know,
you
but
can't
people
swear.
like if it's not even in Ramadan. So then in Ramadan, like it teaches you not to do bad stuff.
Yeah. It teaches you discipline, right? So during Ramadan, would you say that it's the only time of year we're supposed to act like that?
No.
So we're supposed to maintain it throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
So what have you guys done after Ramadan that you, for example, something that you, like a good habit you built in Ramadan that you maintained even after Ramadan? Can you guys name one thing?
Reading Quran.
So after Ramadan you started reading the same amount of Quran as you did? Yeah? What about you?
Same as him, I do more Quran as well.
You read more Quran? Okay. And what about you?
Exact same.
Exact same? Abdullah, you have to have something different.
Exact same.
Exact same? You guys all read? Okay, mashallah, you guys all read more Quran. That's good. Okay. Khalas, what about you, man?
I got nothing.
He's got nothing. Okay, me too. I got nothing, man. I got nothing. But
Why is it blurry?
sorry?
It's blurry.
Don't zoom in and out. Just leave it.
No, it's still blurry. I didn't touch
Still
it.
blurry?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. We're experiencing technical difficulties.
It's like when you're sitting, it doesn't even...
Go sit there for a second. Yeah, it's fine, whatever.
Whatever,
Whatever.
You need new lens, bro.
Sorry?
You need a new lens.
You need a new lens. Okay. Okay, so we're going to continue. So, we basically, for the newcomers, just one, but we're discussing what we did in Ramadan that we have maintained even after Ramadan ended. So these brothers, all four of them say they have read more Quran, or the same amount of Quran that they would read in Ramadan. Okay, so is that the only thing? Okay, now I've asked you what you did do. What haven't you done now? What haven't you done that you did in Ramadan but you did not maintain after Ramadan was over? Okay? No, not the fasting part. Okay, the fasting is a given, but yeah. Okay, we'll start on the left and we'll go to the right this time, because this time last time we went this way, so now we're going to go this way. Razali, you're up first, bro. Come on, man, I'm waiting.
So the question is, what did you do in Ramadan
That you haven't maintained, basically.
Oh.
Okay, Haris, go first.
Waking up for Fajr.
Okay, that's a good one. Well, it's a bad one because you haven't. It's a good answer, okay? Very honest answer. Let's go. I'm going to pick you guys now, okay? Razali looks like he's still thinking, so I'm going to... Abdullah. Come on, Abdullah. What did you do in Ramadan that you haven't maintained? Are you telling me that, okay, this is like with your silence, you're telling me that the only thing you did in Ramadan that changed was read Quran.
No.
Okay, what else did you do? That's a good one too.
I didn't watch that much movies.
Okay, video games, movies, same thing. Wasting time, okay? Wasting
Yeah.
time is a big one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that one doesn't count. You have to give me another one now. Come on, man. Come on. Abdullah.
I went to the masjid more often.
You went to the masjid more often. Okay. And it was pretty much every night you went, right?
Yeah.
And now you go maybe how many times? Like 2-3 times a week? Yeah. About, yeah, because of school. It's understandable. It's not like you know, it's not a huge sin that, you know, unforgivable, but it's something we should try and maintain, right? Go to the masjid on a regular basis. The one that Haris mentioned was, no, he mentioned wasting time. You mentioned
That I'm not waking up for Fajr.
not waking up for Fajr, and you. You're the last one, bro, come on. You have a big head, mashallah, you know, you should be able to think about it.
I sleep less?
You sleep less. So you sleep less now? Is that a good
Yeah.
thing?
No.
No, you want to be sleeping less is good, right? Because you're getting more done throughout the day, right? Now tell me, now this is the last question, okay? Why is it that you guys weren't able to maintain those, right? Whereas with the Quran you were able to maintain it and read just as much. Okay, let me have a guess, okay? You guys all go to a Quran class,
Yeah.
right? That's just my wild guess, right? So you guys all go to a Quran class. So technically, if you guys didn't go to a Quran class, you wouldn't have maintained the Quran, right? So you guys didn't accomplish much, really. You guys pretty much just stayed the same, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now the last question. Again, I'm just bringing it back. That wasn't the last question. This is the last question. Why haven't you been able to maintain it? Right?
School.
School. Okay. It's not a valid
I
I'm
excuse.
gonna be a Muslim because of school.
Yeah.
Homework and
Homework?
yes.
I don't know if homework is a valid excuse, man. Okay. What about you?
Boredom.
Sorry?
Boredom.
Boredom?
Yes.
What's boredom?
That means getting bored.
No, just boredom and
Okay,
boredom.
boredom. Same thing.
Sorry guys, I study English so I get really finicky about this kind of stuff, right? You guys know what finicky means? Okay, good. You'll learn later, it's fine. It's a vocabulary you need to know right now. Haris.
The reason I don't wake up for Fajr more often because my dad used to, we used to stay at the masjid till Fajr. So
You know what I'm hearing from all four of you guys right now is just excuses, right? And this isn't a bad thing. I give myself excuses. We all give ourselves excuses, right? The elders will give themselves excuses. Everybody. So what can you do to cut out these excuses?
do the thing, actually do it more.
Brilliant. Do the thing, guys. Do the thing. I'm not trying to make fun of you guys here, okay? I'm just trying to be dead honest, right? So when I ask you something like, you know, why aren't you doing this? I'm hearing my dad didn't wake me up for Fajr. You know, this. It's all just excuses, right? And what are excuses? Excuses are just a lazy way to.
I didn't feel like waking up.
Yeah. See, again, it's just an excuse, right? So what can you do now? Sorry, I keep asking. I keep saying it's the last question, but this one, inshallah, will be the last question. Okay. What can you do to bring yourself back into the Ramadan mode, right? Because you guys felt good in Ramadan, right? You guys had a good time. You guys, you know, hung out with friends a lot. But you guys did productive things. You guys went to the masjid, right? You guys fasted. So what can you do on a consistent basis to maintain that?
Wait for Ramadan next year.
No, that's a bad answer. That's a very bad answer. That's not. This one here, don't listen to him. Okay? Don't take advice from this one here.
Sleep much earlier because you can wake up for Fajr.
Sleep much earlier so you can wake up for Fajr. That's a one really good and useful hint, right? What was the sunnah? What did the Prophet used to do? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He used to sleep at Isha and wake up at Fajr. Am I correct? Right?
Yeah.
What time do you guys sleep regularly?
I sleep at like 1 or something.
You sleep at 1?
Or 2.
You sleep
In the
at
morning?
1 or 2?
Yeah.
And you have school?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do, man? What do you do later at night? I wanna
Bro,
know
I'm a
something.
newer, bro.
Use my iPod.
Sorry?
Use my iPod.
Okay, so is that a good thing?
No.
Okay, so we've established that it's not a good thing, right? We're all flawed, right? None of us are perfect, right? So we know that he has a flaw, and the flaw is the iPod. Totally fine, trust me, man. My laptop is my biggest flaw, right? My books, everything, those are all my biggest flaws, right? Because that's what will keep me up
That's
at
not a
night.
flaw.
It's a
Books.
flaw. It's a
Books?
flaw. Anything's a flaw if taken too far. Okay? Anything's a flaw. But, right? So all of us have established that think in your head, what is your flaw? What's keeping you away from Islam? In your head, just think in your head, right? I'll give you guys 1 minute to think. Okay, once you've thought of it, maybe you can share it with us, okay? What's your biggest flaw? So his is the iPod. Don't say the same thing, okay? Because I know we all have similar. He can't say iPod, and then you can say iPad, and then you can say iPod Nano, right? It's all the same thing, right? His is technology. Okay, technology is
Another one.
what?
And I'm tired. And then I.
Okay, you're gonna waste it for these guys, man. That might be theirs, right? So we got yours. What's your flaw?
with school friends.
Hanging out, right? What about you? You guys have to keep in mind I have no direction where this is going, but I'm figuring it out as it goes. So this is
Say it up.
this is turning out really well for me because I like your answers. So his is an iPod. His is hanging out with friends. What's your flaw, man? What's keeping you from Islam?
My teachers keep giving me lots of homework.
Keep giving you lots of homework. What about you?
Your teacher.
Come on, brother. It's not that hard, man.
Dude, you're like raising your hand for the longest time.
If it's a flaw, you know it's a flaw. Admitting is the best part, man. You can't even deny it, right?
Which one?
What's your flaw, brother? Staying up at night. Okay, so we have a brother who's we have a brother who stays on his iPod all night till 2 a.m. and you're less than 10, right? Man, at 10 years old, I was sleeping at 9 p.m. Okay? You can't be staying up till 1 a.m. every night, man. So we got a brother who stays on his iPod all night. We got a brother who has lots of homework. We have a brother who, what was your excuse?
Hanging out with my friends.
Friends.
He's hanging out with friends too much. And you, what was yours again? Sleep, okay? So we have 4 excuses. Now these are all linked in one way, right? How are they linked? Okay, listen, we got your point, brother, don't worry. These are all linked in one way. How are these all linked?
Laziness?
Nope. Because doing your homework isn't laziness, right? Hanging out with friends isn't laziness. iPod is laziness, right? But it's not linked in that way, right? You want me to tell you? It's time management, right? So how have you managed your time? You guys are really young and I'm giving you a really grown-up lecture here on time management. So I want you guys to have a small goal for yourself, right? Like a really small goal, right? Each of you have given me one excuse, right? So one very minor, I play on the iPad too much, or I play with my friends too much, I have too much homework, right? All of these are manageable. They're not something that you can't change in life, right? You can stop playing with the iPod as much. You don't have to hang out with your friends 24/7. You have to do your homework. Listen, you can manage it a lot better, right? You can manage it, right? You can be like, listen, do some of it, have some fun for a bit, pray your salah, go back to it, right? Like you can manage it a lot better. Your teacher, what grade are you in? I guarantee your teachers, I'm at university level, I don't have that much homework that I can't manage my time, okay? You're in grade 4, I'm pretty sure you can manage it pretty well, alright? We're all the brothers in the back here, we're all university or past high school, we've all experienced it, right? We've all been through grade 4. We know how difficult it is. It's a very troubling time, I understand that, okay? Grade 4 is no joke. I'm not playing around here.
So
easy. If you met my grade 4 teacher, you guys would all have soiled underwear right now, okay?
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, I had sister at Bates, bro.
Yeah.
No, don't say I hate her, okay? That's backbiting. So we're not gonna backbite around here.
That's for the name.
Alhamdulillah, okay? I had a really good teacher who was very strict, okay? And she was the type of teacher who would overload us with homework and make us read whole novel books in one month. Like that was the type of teacher she was, right? So I'm pretty sure, who do you have right now? Come on, man. If I haven't heard about her, then she's nothing, man. Okay? Like she can't be.
She left the school already.
Either way, right? The point is, it's all manageable at this point, right? You guys are all pretty young. You have tons of time. You get tons of time to play with your friends. So you should all set a goal for yourself. So we're going to before we get started with the lecture, we're going to start one by one. Just name one small goal for yourself and actually try and meet this goal. And I want you 4 to be the leaders of this halaqah, right? Because I see you guys here all the time, all 4 of you. Not you as much, but you can start coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, bro. Okay, so you 3 especially, and you, I love you too, bro. You're going to set goals for yourself, and next week when you come, you're going to tell the whole group, because we're going to have a bigger group next week, inshallah, right? So you're going to tell the whole group, basically, last week I set this goal, and over the week, this is what I did to accomplish this goal, right? So you, set a goal for yourself.
I'm going to stop this marathon.
No, more specific. I want a time where you're going to sleep every night.
I'm going to start sleeping at like 9 or something.
9? You're going to jump from 2 a.m. to 9 p.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, make it a little more reasonable, man. You got to go in the steps, right?
You gotta pay attention too.
Okay. How about you're going to pray Isha, use your iPod for half an hour and then go to sleep.
Okay.
That's a good goal, right? What about you?
Okay. I can do some of my homework in class while the
Very good goal. See? He's gonna start doing his homework in class.
Looking.
Not when the teacher isn't looking, but maybe, you know, and it doesn't have to be in class. You can start doing it, you know, in your spare time, rather than, do your parents have a set time where you do your homework at home?
No, I just come back and just do it.
Okay, and how long does it normally take you?
15 minutes sometimes.
Brother, 15 minutes, okay, this is what I'm gonna do is,
Sometimes.
if it takes you 15 minutes, I want you to do it in 15 minutes and then know that you have the whole rest of the day to yourself, right? You can go out play with friends.
I'm a stack of
You can,
homework.
yeah, right? Listen, like some of us, I was at Waves Coffee today doing my homework for almost, how long were we there?
4 hours?
4 or 5 hours today, right? And even that is bearable, that's nothing, right? Near the end this is like the first week of school, right? Near the end of school, we're gonna be getting like days where we don't go home, we stay over at the library at night, you know? Okay, this is what school is. 15 minutes is very manageable, okay? But I understand it's very difficult,
I get like
you know?
books and books.
We'll make it easy on you. 15 minutes. Okay, you.
I'm gonna stay outside for like 2 hours, eat dinner, and then
2
stay.
hours, okay.
Yeah.
What about your homework? Do you get more than 15 minutes a day?
Takes me like 2 hours or something.
Takes you 2 hours sometimes? Okay. So how about you do like an hour, then play outside for an hour, then do another hour, right? So why don't you try that? When you get back from school, the moment you step in, after you eat a snack or whatever, get started on your homework for an hour, right? If it takes you 2 hours, then you go back, play for a bit, play on your iPod with your brother, right? Then go back to your homework for another hour. Is that manageable?
Our teacher
Okay.
sometimes lets us do our homework inside our class.
Yeah,
That's
so sometimes you
right.
can do that too, right? That's reasonable for you guys. And now you. What was your excuse again? I can't remember.
You didn't even say when sleep.
Okay, sleeping. This is my favorite because sleeping is my biggest problem, okay? So, I'm going to be your coach here, alright? And I'm going to appropriate times for you to sleep. So after school, you're allowed to sleep for an hour, okay? An hour is more than enough, right? Sometimes, you know, people come home, they sleep for 15 minutes. It's called a power snooze, right? You guys ever heard of power snooze?
Power nap.
Power nap. I say snooze, dude, come on. Snooze sounds cooler, right? So you're going to take a power snooze, and then you can sleep at night, right? You know how much is, like, the prescribed time for somebody your age? It's about 8 hours, right? Do you sleep more than 8 hours a day?
No.
You sleep less than 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
Whoa. That's bad, man. That's why you're so short. You're not sleeping properly, man. This is what you're going to do, is you're going to make sure you sleep 8 hours. How is sleeping your problem if you're sleeping less than 8 hours a day?
I don't really say 8 hours.
Okay, listen, brother. I have a new goal for you, okay? Is to sleep at least 8 hours a day, okay? You're not sleeping enough, if anything. Right? 6-7 hours is not enough. So you're gonna go home, sleep, or at nighttime you can sleep for 7 hours. It's good? And you guys are gonna work towards this, right? You guys gonna remember this? Because next week I'm gonna ask you guys, right? I'm gonna go right here and write them down right now. I'm gonna write down your goals, write down your names, and I'm gonna ask you about the next week, right? So let's try and accomplish that. Okay? One more question.
Wait, is this all being recorded?
Yeah, it's all being recorded, man. So, okay, guys, settle down, all right? So now we have 2 speakers, okay? Don't look back; they're staring straight at you, okay? No, you look back, man.
These two?
No. Just don't worry about who the speakers are. They're surprise speakers, okay? Listen, do you guys know what adab means?
Yeah, it means like
You're Arab, okay? No, I know you know.
Oh, I know.
No, you're Arab too, bro. You're his brother, man. I know you guys are Arab. You're Arab, bro. Come on, look at your skin tone, man. You're Arab. You're obviously Arab. You.
Okay, what is it again?
Adab.
Ethiopians speak Arabic.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Adab means manners, alright? So, do you guys know what the adab to a speaker is? Or a teacher, or an amir, or anything, right? You.
Respect.
Okay, I know, obviously, man. Come on. The adab isn't disrespect for sure, right? So obviously it's gonna be respect. Good answer, though. I like you for trying.
Listen to all the details because it can help you in your life.
Can help you in your life. What about you?
Follow all directions she tells you to.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna implement one thing, okay? And correct me if I'm wrong. You 2 in the back, or 3 of you in the back. We're at Camp Sino. Oh, 4. All 4 of you guys. Okay. We're at Camp Sino. We learned that one imam wouldn't turn the pages loudly It was Imam Malik and Imam Shafi. I don't know which way around it was.
Yeah.
Who was learning from
It
who?
was learning.
From
Shafi was learning from Malik, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Imam Shafi, when he was learning from Imam Malik, right? And these are two of the, like some of the greatest scholars. There's 4 madhabs, these were 2 of the madhabs, right? So this is like half of Islam right here, pretty much. Okay? These are like half of the greatest scholars in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? So one of the scholars, when he was learning, so Imam Shafi, when he was learning from Imam Malik and he was taking notes, he wouldn't turn the pages loudly because he was scared it would disturb the teacher's train of thought, right? So when we're sitting there and we're, and then squeaking on the chair and then scratching our head, right? What is that? That's disturbing the teacher's train of thought, right? So let's try and implement one thing this week and try and make it a weekly routine. Because I told you, I want you guys to be the leaders of this halaqah, right? Because people are going to listen to you. They're going to learn the facts from us, but they're going to look to you guys as role models, right? Because you guys are friends, right? I look to some of my friends as role models. Some of my friends look to me as role models. It works like that with you between friends, right? So you guys are going to basically be your group's leader. Okay, so when people see you, they want to know, okay, look, I like the way that guy listens because he's very polite, right? So let's try and implement one thing. I'm not saying you guys have to take notes, but when you guys do fidget and make noise, keep in mind that it could disturb your teacher's train of thought, right? So your teacher could be disturbed by this, right? So let's try and implement this and be very quiet. If we have something to say, raise our hand. If we have to go somewhere, try and wait. Right? If you don't have to, then quietly leave without disturbing anybody, right? So let's welcome our 2 speakers today. We have brother Yahya, Abdi-Hadi. No copy. Takbir. Okay. And following him will be brother Awais. Or is it the other way around?
What do you mean?
We're going Awais.
Well, I'm alphabetically.
Okay, alphabetically. No. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay. Alrighty.
Actually, no, that was
You want the swivel chair?
check my
Oh, this is Oasis chair.
Salam alaikum.
Nice.
in one place, let it sit.
This is the. Okay, bismillah. How are y'all doing? That's good. Alright, so.
Wait, hold on. I don't know you guys' names. What's your name?
Ghazali.
Sorry?
Ghazali.
Ghazali? What's your name, bro?
Abdullah.
Abdullah?
Harith.
Sorry, louder.
Harith.
Harith? Yes, good.
Muhammad Adam.
Muhammad Adam?
Is that all your first name or your full name?
That's my first name.
Your first name is Ahmed Adam?
That's
Yes.
good.
My last name Better.
That's it?
Technically, my first name is Muhammad Awais. It's on my license. I don't know.
Technically, my first name is Yahya Zakaria. Sort of. It was for a while and then I had it legally removed. That's the only reason. Okay, anyways, Bismillah. والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. All praise is due to Allah. We thank Him, we seek His help, and we ask for His forgiveness. Whomsoever Allah guides, none can lead astray, and whomsoever Allah leads astray, no one can guide. I bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is His servant and messenger. Now, does anybody remember where we left off many years ago when we had the halaqah going before Ramadan? Yes.
I think we left at where we were on Prophet Musa,
Yes.
and then
We were on Prophet Musa. Okay, we confirm that. What's next? Where in the story of Prophet Musa did we leave off? Yes, had.
we finished the story. No, we
No,
didn't
we
finish
didn't
it.
finish it.
We did? Oh, we left off when
Prophet Musa's story is like huge.
it's going on. It's when he had his staff.
Okay, no spoilers. Good, you know what you're talking about. Okay, so today, inshallah, but I was just checking you guys remember. Today, inshallah, we will recap everything we covered from when Prophet Musa was a baby up until where we stopped before Ramadan. No, it'll be quick, don't worry. And next week, we will move on from where we stopped before Ramadan. Alright? Just a little note. The halaqas from now on will be given by me and, you know his name? He's asking for your name, I don't know his name.
Awais.
He pays attention. Take notes. Okay, right? Awais, right? So, now you know. Okay, Bismillah. So, we'll do a really quick recap. Bismillah. So we said that Prophet Musa AS was born into the tribe of Bani Israel, right? And when he was born to the tribe of Bani Israel, before he was born, Fir'aun, he had a dream. He had a dream in which all the houses of the Egyptians were, yes,
Like all like the kids, all the boys, all like the children, right? Will come and
well, no, close though. There's children in that equation. Yeah, yes.
Someone from the children of Israel will defeat him.
Yes, right. So he had a dream. The actual dream was that all the houses of the Egyptians were burning, and the houses of the Jews, the Bani Israel, were still remaining standing, right? So he asked his advisors, and they told him this means that somebody will come from Bani Israel, and he will overtake your throne, or you won't be king anymore, or he'll destroy you, right? So he said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to kill every single boy that's born to Bani Israel. And then he started killing every single boy. One second, later. Question later. Remember. And he said, we'll kill every single boy. And then his advisors came to him and said, no, that's a stupid idea, because if you kill all the boys, we're only going to have women left, and women can't lift. Right? Right? That's what they told him, right? So what happened was, he said, okay, one second, right? He said, okay, we're going to kill the boys 1 year. This is how evil he was. He said, we're going to kill the boys 1 year, and we're going to leave them 1 year. Right? So that's what he started doing. The year that he was not killing the boys, Musa's older brother Harun was born. Right? Then, the year that he was killing the boys, Musa was born. And when Musa's mother got pregnant, she got scared, because she knows that this is the year in which they're going to have like inspections on every houses. They're going to knock the doors. They're going to check if the women are pregnant, and if they are, they're going to wait till they deliver the baby, and then they're going to kill it. Right? So what happened is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enabled the mother of Musa to hide her pregnancy. So she didn't have a big stomach when she was walking around. Right? Nobody could tell. Then she delivered Musa alayhi salam, and when she delivered him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instructed her to throw Musa alayhi salam into the Nile. Right? Allah says, وَوَحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ. Right? So Allah says, we revealed to the mother of Musa to breastfeed Musa, and if she gets scared for the well-being of Musa, to throw him into the Nile. And the Nile is not like a little, calm river that just like, right? It's not like the Alex Fraser, like nothing happens in the Alex Fraser, right? The Nile is like, it's rushing and gushing, and like stuff happens in the Nile, right? Like big stuff. So what happened was, she put him in a handbasket. Her trust in Allah was so strong that even though she knows that that strong swimmers who jump into the Nile, right? She knows that even some strong swimmers jump into the Nile and they wouldn't be able to swim, right? But she put this newborn baby in a handbasket, and she put him in the Nile, and it went through the Nile, guided by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what happened was, it went to the footstep of the palace of Fir'aun, right? So she's saving it from Fir'aun, but it goes to Fir'aun, right? And what happened is, the daughter of the mother of Musa, Musa's sister, she saw this, so she went back to her mom and she told her mom, right? In the meantime, Musa is picked up by the guards of Fir'aun. He's taken to the wife of Fir'aun, and the wife of Fir'aun falls in love with Musa. So when she falls in love with Musa, she pleads with her husband. She says, you know what? Maybe we should keep it. Don't kill this one. This one's cute. Or I like this one. I want to make it my child. So, and like husbands always listen to their wives. You'll never hear like a husband not listening to his wife. Sometimes, but most of the time they listen, right? So what happened was, Fir'aun listened to his wife, and they adopted Musa as a child. But now Musa wasn't sucking any milk from anybody. So the mother of Musa now came, and she breastfed Musa. She was getting paid to feed her own child. At the same time, she got to see her child every day. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled the promise. Because in that verse I recited earlier, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells the mother of Musa to not do two things, and He makes her two promises. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَإِذَا خِفْتِ عَلَيْهِ فَأَلْقِيهِ فِي الْيَمِّ وَلَا تَخَافِي وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَا تَخَافِي. Do not fear. وَلَا تَحْزَنِي. Do not worry. Do not have grief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then says, إِنَّا رَادُّوهُ إِلَيْكَ. Indeed, we will turn him to you. وَجَاعِلُوهُ مِنَ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. And we will make him among our messengers. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fulfilled promise number one right there. He returned Musa to his mother safe, and not only that, she's getting paid to feed her own child. Right? So it's like an up. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in another verse, وَمَنْ يَتَقِ اللَّهَ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا. Whoever has taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will open for them a path, وَيَرْزُقْهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبْ. And Allah will provide for them from an avenue or a path or a place that they never expected. So, for example, you're also young to have jobs, but maybe in about 10 years you'll have jobs, right? And you go to a job and you find out you really need this job, let's say, right? You have to get that new PS7, right? And you want to buy the PS7, but you don't have enough money, so you need this job. But then you find out that there's something haram in the job. You're not allowed to do, there's something in the job that you're not allowed to do in Islam, right? So now you can either A, take the job because you need the money, or you can B, what? You can not take the job because it's haram, right? If you do not take the job, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you something even better, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because you left that job for His sake, because said, oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this job is haram and I want to please you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you something even better and provide from you from a path that you did not expect. And this is a promise in the Quran. Allah promises this, right? So anyways, continuing on the story of Musa. So now what happened is Musa is raised as a prince in the castle of Fir'aun, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does a flash forward, right? You flash forward, and next thing you know about Musa, he's a grown man now, right? Allah says, وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ شُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Right, Allah says when he became an adult, and here an adult doesn't mean like he's 35, ready to move out of his parents' house. No, an adult is when you reach puberty, right? So anybody here like 12 and above is an adult, Islamically, right? If you're above 12, you're an adult, right? There's some signs, we won't talk about that now, but let's just say above 12 is an adult, right? For each sake. Right, so وَلَمَّا بَلَغَ شُدَّهُ, and some of the tafsir scholars say he was like a middle teenager, right? He was like late 16, 17, 18 when this incident that happened, right? So what happened is he's growing up in the palace of Fir'aun. He realizes, he doesn't look like the Egyptians who live there. They realize that, hey, this guy's probably not Egyptian, right? But he's Fir'aun's son, so they can't say anything about it, right? So what happened is people used to bully him in secret, He used to we know you're a Jew, they used to pick on him. So what happened is one day, in the middle of, like around Dhuhr time, it was very hot, so everybody went to sleep. And then Musa, this is when he used to walk around because, nobody could bother him then. Then he was walking around and he saw two men fighting, right? And he saw one man, he kind of looked like him, so he said, hey, maybe this guy's from like Bani Israel, and he saw another man was an Egyptian. So Musa went and he tried to help the guy who looked like him against the Egyptian. He threw one punch, the guy dropped dead, That Musa was very strong. He threw one punch, by accident, the man fell dead. And then right away Musa, he said, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim." He said, "Hada min amal shaitan." Indeed, this is the actions of shaitan, and he made tawbah right there, right then. Right? Then the next day, he finds the same guy that looked like him, he's getting in another fight. Right? And he realizes, okay, this guy who looks like me is a troublemaker. So he goes to him, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, the cool thing about the Quran is, like any other book you read, like whether they're writing in first person, second person, third person, sixth person, right? Right? And any person they're writing in, or historical books or anything, they can't tell you what a person is thinking. They can only tell you historical facts, right? So they can't tell you what a person is thinking. The Quran, it tells us what the people in past history were thinking, what they were about to do, even if that's not what they did. Right, and this is an example of that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَمَّا أَرَادَ أَن يَبْطِشَ بِالَّذِي هُوَ عَدُوٌ لَهُمَا. When he was trying to go and speak to the man who was an enemy to both of them, meaning the trouble causer, right? So his intention was to go and be like, hey, yo, calm down, stop picking fights, right? But the guy saw Musa coming. He saw Musa walking towards him, and he just freaked out. He was like, Musa, you trying to kill me like you killed that guy yesterday, right? And then the thing is, it's like dead. No, everybody's asleep. So like it was an echo to the town. So like, you trying to kill me like that guy killed yesterday, right? And then everybody heard it, right? It was like front page news. Musa knocked out a guy yesterday. One punch knockout. So what happened was, now the whole town knows, and Fir'aun can't protect Musa anymore, right? Because they had such like racial problems that if somebody who was a Bani Israel killed somebody who was an Egyptian, that's an automatic death sentence. Right? There's no way around it. Right? So even Fir'aun couldn't protect Musa anymore. So one of the men who was in the committee of Fir'aun, one of his advisors, he used to feel sympathy for Musa. Right? He used to like feel close to Musa. So he came and he ran all the way to Musa and he told them, listen, the advisors, they're having a meeting right now with Fir'aun and they're planning on killing you. Right? So leave the city. So Musa, he ran out of the city and he didn't pack anything. He just ran, he didn't have any time to think, he planned. So he just left the city and he walked towards the distance of Midian. Now the thing is, Musa had no idea where he's going. He walked through the desert. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is guiding him, right? Because what we know is that he has a future meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah wants to make sure he gets there on time, right? When you have a meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're never going to be late. Don't worry about it, right? So what happened is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is planning for him to meet him there. So Allah guides him to the desert. He gets to Madian. He's thirsty, he's hungry, he's eating on green leaves because he has nothing else to eat. And then he sits under a tree. He's exhausted. He's like, I'm out, you know? But then what happens is, Musa was the type of person that if he sees injustice, if he sees something going wrong, he will stand up and he will defend the person who is being wrong, even if he's like he can't do it, you know, like in this case he was extremely tired. So he got there and he saw two women and they were trying to feed their sheep, but a whole bunch of huge men were feeding their sheep too, in a water thing, and they were like pushing and like elbowing each other. Sheep. He went to all the men, pushed them all aside, fed these women sheep, took them back to the woman, and then sat back under a tree. Right? And then he said, Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayrin faqir. He said, oh Allah, whatever you give to me, he said, inni lima anzalta ilayya min khayr faqir. He said, whatever you give to me of good, I need it. Right? So what happened was, these women, they went home with their sheep. And their father got surprised because they don't come home until like late because these men have to finish their UFC match. So what happened was, their father said, what happened? He said, oh, there was a man, he took our sheep, he fed it for us, and he gave it back to us. So the father said, go call this man. So one of the girls, she came to Musa, he's sitting under the tree, he's knocked out, you know, he's tired. And she said, she approached him with shyness, right? Al-istihya. Right? She approached him with shyness, meaning she didn't come, she maintained modesty, right? And modesty is an important aspect of Islam. When we're speaking to the opposite gender, we have to speak to them modestly, right? You don't go and be like, hey, yo, what's your name, girl? Right? That doesn't work, right? You can't do that, right? You have to speak to them modestly, right? So she approached Musa alayhi salam with shyness. Doesn't mean you don't speak to them at all. Some people believe that, like it's haram for women to speak in public. That's wrong, right? Women can speak, they have voices. But don't like flirt and don't like be all like up out there. You know what I'm trying to say? Okay. So she approached him with shyness, and then she said, my father wants to reward you for the action you did for us. Right? And then what happened is Musa followed them back to her house. But look at Musa. Even though he's tired, his morals are strong and they're firm. He's needy, he's tired, right? He has every reason to do whatever he needs to survive, but still his morals are strong. He tells the woman to walk behind him, and he tells them, throw rocks in the direction of your house and I'll follow the rocks. Right? Because he doesn't want to like stare at the woman and everything. Right? So he reaches their house and the father makes a deal with Musa. He says, listen, you look like a good man, right? My daughter says you're a good man, right? So what happened is, I'll marry you to one of my daughters and you'll work for me for a period of 8 to 10 years. And then after that's our contract, and after that you can do whatever you want. Right? So the Quran doesn't say which one to be filled. The Quran doesn't say, did he do 8, did he do 10? The Quran doesn't say. But Prophet Muhammad wanted to find out. So he said, he asked Jibreel, oh Jibreel, which of the two terms did Musa work? And then Jibreel said the most complete of them, meaning 10 years. Right? So Musa, he worked 10 years for this man, plus he married his daughter. When those 10 years were done, this is when the appointment happened. So what happened was, he went, he said, it's time that I go visit my family. He was homesick, he wanted to see his mom, he wanted to see his people. So what happened is he went back towards the direction of Egypt. Now on the way there, he was crossing through the desert again, and he got lost. He didn't know which way to go. So what happened was, he saw a light in the distance. And then he told his family, he said, you know what, I see a light in the distance, let me go towards that light, and maybe I'll either find like people, because if there's a light in the desert, it means there's probably people sitting around a fire. Right? So he said, maybe I'll go there and either I will talk to the people there and ask them for directions, or at the least I'll pick up one of the woods with fire in it and we'll have light to find our way back to Egypt. Right? So what happened was, he was walking towards this place, and as he got there he saw that it wasn't a campfire, or it wasn't like a bonfire. What was it? It was a tree that was glowing. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says it was the sacred valley of Quwa. Right? That's where he went. And right when he got there, he got to the tree, he's confused, all he heard is, Ya Musa. He's like, whoa, what's going on? So then he stopped, he froze, and then he heard, Inni ana rabbuka fakhla'na alayk. He said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaking to him. He said, indeed, I am your Lord, so take off your sandals. Innaka bilwadi al-muqaddasi Tuwa. Indeed, you are in the sacred valley of Tuwa. Right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Wa ana akhtartuka. I'm going to tell you some things. Fastami' lima yuha. So listen to what I am telling you. Inni ana Allah. He says, indeed I am Allah. La ilaha illa ana fa'budni. There is no God worthy of worship except me, so worship me. Wa aqim as-salata li dhikri. And maintain your prayers for my remembrance. right? And he says, إِنِّي وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِذِكْرِي إِنَّ السَّاعَةَ آتِيَةٌ أَكَادُ أُخْفِيهَا. He says, indeed the hour is close, I'm just but hiding it, right? And this is the time of Musa alayhi salam. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling Musa alayhi salam that the day of judgment is so close that I'm just like covering it, like when أَكَادُ أُخْفِيهَا means like when you have something like this pen and you're just like covering it like that, right? So it's still like, you know there's a pen there, but it's just covered. It hasn't been revealed yet, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that's how close the day of judgment is. I'm just covering it, right? أَكَادُ أُخْفِيهَا لِتُجْزَى كُلُّ نَفْسٍ بِمَا تَسْعَى, so that I may hold accountable every person for what they have done. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving him like a prologue. You know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him, these are the criteria. I am Allah, maintain your salah, you know, the day of judgment is near, so prepare for that. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala now, he wants to like open a dialogue with Musa alayhi salam, right? Because before it was monologue, it was Allah speaking. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to open a dialogue. He says, وَمَا تِلْكَ بِيَمِينِكَ يَا Musa. What's in your right hand, Musa? Allah knows what's in his right hand, right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is all-knowing. Allah knows it's a stick. But Allah wants to hear what Musa has to say. So Musa says, قَالَ هِيَ عَصَايَ, indeed it's my stick. قال هي عصاي أتوكأ عليها وأهش بها على غنمي ولي فيها مآرب أخرى. He says, my stick, you know, I use it to guide my sheep, and I have a lot of other uses for it too. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, you know this is a stick, it's your shepherd's stick, you have a lot of uses for it, throw it. Right? So Musa throws a stick. Right when he throws a stick, it turns into a huge snake. Musa runs. He doesn't look back. He just bounces. You know, he's like, ah! He runs in the opposite direction. Right? He doesn't look back. Right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قَالَ لَا تَخَفْ سَنُعِيدُهَا سِيرَتَهَا الْأُولَى. He says, Musa, stop. Don't be scared. You know, that's one of our signs. Right? Then he says, وَضْمُمْ يَدَكَ إِلَى جَنَاحِكَ تَخْرُجْ بَيْضَاءَ مِنْ غَيْرِ سُوءٍ آيَةً أُخْرَى. Then he says, put your hand in your pocket. So Musa put his hand in his pocket, and it came out glowing white. Right? Without disease, meaning he didn't have like leprosy or anything, right? It was glowing white, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that's the second sign. So Allah is telling him, I'm showing you these signs. Why? Because idhab ila fir'aun, I want you to go to Fir'aun. Innahu tagha, indeed he's transgressing, meaning he's crossed all bounds, you know. So now Musa's scared, because why did he leave Egypt? Because Fir'aun wanted to kill him, right? He's scared of Fir'aun, he wanted to kill him. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling him, no, don't be scared. Right? And he's telling him, oh Allah, you know, but I killed one of their men, right? You know, I can't go back there now. Allah's telling him none of that matters. Right? Then he realized that there's no option. He's been giving prophethood now, he's been giving a message, he has to fulfill that message. So he asks Allah for some things, right? He says, first of all, Akhi Haruna wazira, he said, make my brother Harun my advisor. Right? So they say that the best gift one brother gave to another brother is what Musa gave to Harun, because he gave him the gift of prophethood, right? Nobody can match that, right? He specifically asked Allah, oh Allah, I want you to also make Harun a prophet. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, done, right? Then he said, oh Allah, I have like a lisp, like I have like I can't speak properly. Oh Allah, take that away from me so that people can understand my speech, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that we'll do that too, right? Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, now both of you go and speak to Fir'aun. So what happened was he was going toward this campfire to look for light. He was going toward the campfire to find guidance back for Egypt and to find light for his travels. But he went to this camp. He went to speak to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and he came back with guidance for mankind and the light to the straight path. Right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him even more than what he was looking for. So he gets back to Egypt, and when he gets back to Egypt, Fir'aun's the king, so he goes in a second. Right? He summons him to his palace, and right off the top, he starts telling him, he says, I'm a messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? And then Fir'aun just laughs. He's sitting with all he's the king, he's sitting with all the advisors around him, and they're just like, right? They're all laughing at Musa. And Musa and Harun are standing next to each other. Right? And he says, وَمَا رَبُّكَ قَالَ وَمَا رَبُّكَ يَا Musa. He said, who's this Lord you're speaking about, Musa? Right? And then he says, indeed, he starts giving him signs, right? Remember the verse? Yeah. He says, قَالَ رَبُّنَا الَّذِي أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ ثُمَّ هَدَى. Right? He says, He is my Lord who is in charge of all things. أَعْطَى كُلَّ شَيْءٍ خَلْقَهُ. He created all of them. ثُمَّ هَدَى. And afterwards He guides. Right? And then he says, قال فما بال القرون الأولى. He says, then what about the people who came before us? Because Fir'aun is when he's like, Okay. I'll give you the gist of it, it's fine. So what happens, Musa goes and he tells him, this is my Lord, he gives him criteria. Right? Then, Fir'aun is laughing at him, he said, can you listen to this guy? Look at him. He's talking to his advisor, look at this guy's an idiot. Right? And then what happens is, Musa is relentless, he continues on, he's giving him da'wah. And then, Fir'aun sees he's not playing around, so he tells him, if you take any he says, if you take any god other than me, I will put you in prison. And then Musa says, he says, even if I bring you clear signs, and then Fir'aun says, okay, what clear signs are we talking about? What clear signs are we talking about? And then, so what he does, he shows him the snake, he shows him his hand, and then at once Fir'aun's like, oh, this guy's a magician. He's a magician, he knows magic. So he says, we're going to do something for you. We're going to call every magician we know in the city, and we're going to have like a battle, right? And then Musa says, what day? And the people of Egypt used to have a day of celebration, like a festival, and where everybody in the town used to come out and celebrate. So Fir'aun said, we're going to have it on that day. So what happened is, now every single magician from every corner of Egypt is being called to the palace of Fir'aun. Some narrations say there were 70, some narrations say there were like 70,000, right? This is huge. We'll go with the...
How's that fair?
Huh?
How's that fair?
It's not fair. Exactly, right? It's showing you that if you have Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your side, nothing can defeat you. Right? So what happened was, now we'll go with the 70,000 for emphasis. So what happened is, this place is huge, there's 70,000 magicians on one side, there's Musa and Harun on the other side. And only Musa knows how to, and only Musa has the miracles from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So it's 1 against 70,000. So what happened was, Fir'aun said, go, right? And then all these magicians, they start throwing ropes and sticks and everything. And it was illusionary magic, so they used to play with people's eyes, right? So when you were sitting there watching them, it looked like all these ropes and sticks turned into snakes. So all these like snakes like skittling around this palace. And what happened is, they're all skittling, then Musa goes, he throws his stick. No, Musa got scared. He saw this and he got scared. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, don't get scared, throw your stick. He threw his stick turned into a huge snake. Went and ate every single rope and stick that was there. All these magicians just like, they just saw him and their jaw just dropped. And they all became Muslim on the spot. Because they know, they're the best magicians in town. They know that this is not magic, this has to be from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they saw this, they all became Muslim. What happened was Fir'aun, he said, I'm going to kill you all. They said, go ahead, you can only do something in this dunya. In the akhirah we have Jannah. Fir'aun killed them all. Right? Now what happened was, Fir'aun's advisors, they're getting angry. They said, we can't listen to the people we can't let Musa go around. Because now Bani Israel, they saw Musa came back, and then Bani Israel started following him. Right? So now they were all slaves. They said, you know what, we're not going to be slaves anymore, we're not going to listen to Fir'aun, we're going to follow Musa. So a sort of upheaval happened. Then Fir'aun went again, and he started killing all the boys, and he started saving all the girls. And to send them a message, he said, you know what, you guys can't do what you want, I'm God. He used to call himself God. Right? So he even told Musa, he even told his advisor, he said, you know what, build for me a brick castle that goes up to heaven. I want to go look at this God that Musa keeps talking about. That's how arrogant he was. So what happened was, he started killing all the boys. The people of Bani Israel were getting tired. They said, oh Musa, how long are we going to go through this torture and punishment? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them sign after sign. One year Allah would cut off all their drought. Right? They would say, oh Musa, please pray to your Lord. We'll send Bani Israel with you, we'll believe in you. He would pray, he would take it off, they wouldn't listen. Next year, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned the whole Nile into blood. Right? So when the Bani Israel would take a cup, it would be water. When the Egyptian would take a cup, it would turn into blood. So they said, oh Musa, pray to Allah, we'll listen to you. Same thing happened, they didn't listen. Right? And every time something good would happen to them, they say it's from us. Every time something bad would happen, they say, oh, it's that magician Musa. Right? So they used to, like propaganda, like what we see nowadays, It's always one-sided. They tell people, oh, Musa is playing his magic and let him calm down, let him not get angry anymore, and then everything will go back to normal. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them 7 or 8 signs. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا نُرِيهِمْ مِنْ آيَةٍ إِلَّا هِيَ أَكْبَرُ مِنْ أُخْتِهَا. Every sign we sent them, it was the sign after it was larger than the one before, meaning it was even more devastating. But they still didn't listen. They were hard-headed. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Musa made a dua. He says, رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ آتَيْتَ فِرْعَوْنَ وَمَلَأَهُ زِينَةً وَأَمْوَالًا فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا رَبَّنَا لِيُضِلُّوا عَنْ سَبِيلِكَ رَبَّنَا اطْمِسْ عَلَى أَمْوَالِهِمْ وَاشْدُدْ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ فَلَا يُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى يَرَوْا الْعَذَابَ الْأَلِيمَ. Musa said, oh Allah, you gave Fir'aun a lot of wealth, you gave him a lot of money, and he's using this to mislead people from Islam. right? Oh Allah, destroy his wealth and cripple him so that he may taste the painful punishment. Because Musa had enough, you know, he's preaching and Fir'aun not listening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, قَالَ قَدْ أُجِيبَ دَعْوَتُكُمَا Indeed, we'll accept the dua of both of you. Right? Because Harun was saying Ameen while Musa was making this dua. Right? So what happened was, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Musa, take all of Bani Israel in the nighttime and leave Egypt. Right? Just walk out of Egypt. So what did Musa, what he made a plan, he marked all the doors of Bani Israel, and then he told them, at night we're all going to leave. And Fir'aun is the king, so the moment they left, he knew about it. Right? It's not like it was a surprise thing. We woke up in the morning, all the Bani Israel houses are missing, like where could have they gone? You know, no, he knew. But then he was arrogant. So his advice came to him, oh, Bani Israel, you know, they're moving, they're packing, they're leaving. And he said, you know what? They're small people, right? And we're faster, we're bigger, we'll take care of them in the morning. Everybody go to sleep, enjoy your nights. Right? So they all went to sleep. In the meantime, Bani Israel, they're leaving Egypt. In the morning, they all got up, they all got on their horses, they all got on their carriages, they left Egypt to get after Bani Israel. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this was the plan because we were taking them from Kunuz wa Maqamin Kareem, كَذَلِكَ أَوْرَثْنَاهَا Bani Israel. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says we were taking them from their wealth and every honorable place they had because we wanted the people of Bani Israel to inherit it. So they all got up. They went Musa's huge army, they went after Bani Israel. They caught up to them like that. Right? It was easy for them. Right? They reached the Red Sea, and when they reached the Red Sea, they looked back, there's a huge army of Fir'aun just coming after them. Like, ah! They look to their right, there's mountains. They look to the left, there's mountains. They look in front of them, there's a Red Sea. Right? Bani Israel was freaking out. And they say there was about 100,000 to 600,000 of them. Because Musa, he doesn't have like 5 people with him that they can like hide. He has a huge number with him too, but Fir'aun's number was even larger than that. So what happened was they said, oh Musa, قال أصحاب موسى إنا لمدركون. The companions said, oh, we're doomed, we're destroyed, there's no way we're going to get out of this. Musa sees this too, right? He says, no, Allah made me a promise. He said, قال كلا إن معي ربي سيهديني. He said, nope, Allah made me a promise, and He will, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will guide me. Right? When he said that, it was a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah revealed to him, وَوَحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى أَنِ اضْرِبْ بِعَصَاكَ الْبَحْرَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, and we revealed to Musa to strike your staff on the sea. And when he struck it, each part became like the size of a mountain. Right? You know, like when you watch like these cartoons that make fun of the story of Musa, and he hits the water and like it just goes like that, and like they walk through. No. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, each part became like the size of a mountain. So Bani Israel saw this, and like, whoa. Fir'aun, he's seeing this too, and he's like, yeah, look, that's me, I'm God, yep, right? He's like, I want, he goes, like, he's like, that's me, don't worry about it, you know? And then others just like, yeah, wow, right? So what happened was, Bani Israel, they walked to the Red Sea, they got to the other side, right? Fir'aun, he went to the middle of the Red Sea. Musa got to the other side, he's smacking the stick with the water, he's like, go back down, go back down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, nope, don't worry, we have a plan, right? Fir'aun got to the middle, right when he got to the middle, water started dropping. Fir'aun's like, oh. And then the waves started coming down. And when he saw that, he said, he said, قَالَ آمَنْتُ أَنَّهُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا الَّذِي آمَنَتْ بِهِ بَنُو إِسْرَائِيل. Right? He said, oh, Allah, I'm a Muslim now. I believe in the God of the people of Bani Israel. You know, I follow Musa. Allah says, nope, too late. Right? Too late. Right? And Jibreel alayhi salam, he was actually taking dirt and stuffing it in the mouth of Fir'aun.